At Tier 1 Setup Shop, we're not just setup builders. We're racers, league admins, and part of the same sim community you are. We build setups for the full NASCAR ladder, Cup, Xfinity, Trucks, Arca, and the grassroots warriors of short track racing, late models, legends, SK, and tour mods, all tested and refined in real race conditions. We listen, we adjust, we improve, because your input makes our setups better.
Are you looking for a league that has racing 3 nights a week or special event races? Tier 1 Racing League is here for you. Most races are broadcasted by our very own Tier 1 studio. From dirt track to super speedways, Tier 1 has side-by-side racing with real drivers and real rivalries. If you wish to join us, go to our website, tier1racingleague.com, where you can find our Discord link and much more information. Don't forget to subscribe to our Tier 1 Studio YouTube and Twitch channels so you don't miss the action.
Are you ready to take your Twitch and Discord experience to the next level? Introducing EasyDayBot, your ultimate bot for seamless interaction. Whether you're live on Twitch or chatting on Discord, EasyDayBot's dynamic responses open up a whole new world of possibilities. Engage with your community like never before through unique prompts, custom reactions, and endless fun. It's the bot that understands you. Make every day an easy day download now at easydaybot.com.
New to Tier 1, first-time customers get 30% off your first purchase, excluding subscriptions. And if you're a streamer, league, or broadcaster, join our sponsorship program. Share your code, your community gets 10% off, and you earn $1 per setup sold with it. Tier 1 Setup Shop. Built with you, built for you. Every lap, every week. League, as we are set to go for qualifying here in the Tar Heel State. Drivers getting ready to do 115 laps, 172.5 miles around Charlotte Motor Speedway here. The oval configuration for tonight. The third race of the season. So far, been a pretty interesting season early on in the THDesigns Arca series. Greg Wood Jr. leading the points. Just 25 points ahead of Eddie Baker so far in this season. Blair Roussel hot on their heels there in third place. As we watch that second place car in the points, Eddie Baker and that beautiful Bobby Labonte throwback paint scheme. Working his way around track, and looks like holding on to first place in qualifying right now for the time being. Gary Smith coming around turn 3 here. Christopher Lunsford there. And getting a little bit choppy. Nose Tape Erickson here. Matt Erickson in the 28 car. We'll see him running tonight. Look for good things from him. David Mayo in the 08 car. Got a couple Napa entries tonight. Chase Elliott fans are going to enjoy this. A rare appearance from the not-so-Rangers fan himself, Ricky Gonzalez.
as it looks like most of these drivers are wrapping up their qualifying attempts here. 51 car, TJ fast lane a lane in that Sharkweat paint job. Zach Woods in the For His Glory number 6 Ford Mustang coming down the backstretch here. 46 Justin Evans put on a good show so far this season. Look to see him towards the top. P3 on the scoring pylon as Zach Woods comes around to the start-finish line. Cuts it off. Not a bad idea to, as you see TJ and Lane coming to a stop here, get a bit of a late qualifying run. Sometimes you get the benefit of a little bit cooler track temperature. Sometimes it just pays off to see what the guys in front of you are doing. See if you like their line, how grippy the track is. Of course, we're racing the ARCA series tonight, but tomorrow night begins week 1 of the Wednesday night showdown presented by Tier 1 Racing League. That's going to be every Wednesday night, 8 p.m. Eastern, and it's promising to be a unique season. It's a 3-car rotation. If you like super late models, if you like big block modifieds, if you like the UMP mods, just a $20 entry fee for that 12-week race season, starting up tomorrow night. Tier1RacingLeague.com has all your information on that. That's also where you can get the points for this series and any series here on Tier 1 Racing League. As we hear the engines fire up, drivers do get a 5-minute warm-up for these races generally, although we might see that expedited a bit here as the session started a little bit late this evening. Excellent time to get a potty break in, maybe refill your drink, whatever you're drinking tonight, and get set. Get you a couple warm-up laps in for this 115 lap feature tonight. We'll have a halfway break in this one. Stage points scored for that. As we see Greg Woods getting a little practice on the Roval. Hey, you never know when that's going to come in handy. You're going the wrong way, Greg. As we see Ricky Gonzalez parked in an interesting location. Let's bring our in-race reporter in here.
Let's try
Ricky,
this.
It's Caleb up in the booth. You got your ears on.
Yes, sir.
Well, I just have one question for you, Ricky Gonzalez. Where on earth are you going?
Let's not pay attention to that. Let's just we're going on our own little adventure right now. You know, first race of the season for us. Let's just have some fun with it and trying to find this little go-kart track that's on the back. I don't know if you can see on the back. There's like right here. Oh, stop. Whoa.
Yep, little cut in there. Oh!
Let's see if I can go
It
back
lost
here.
it. No, he saved it. Oh.
No,
he didn't save it.
But we're trying to find the go-kart track. We ended up finding that, and yeah, we're just having some fun right now while we guess have a 5-minute warm-up.
Well, I know you're going to do your best here in your first appearance of the season, I believe, to do what the Rangers did in a riveting game on Saturday night and come home with the victory tonight. What's your strategy for this race tonight here in the ARCA series at Charlotte?
Yeah, I know these guys are in the midst of a point battle, so obviously you know who those guys are. We had a chance to look at the points earlier this afternoon while we were at work, and I'm aware of those guys. So we're just gonna try to chill, vibe, and I really don't know if the aggression will be totally up there, just because I do know we don't have any fast repairs, and you want to play these things very smart when it comes to that. So we might go a little bit on the conservative route, and then towards the end, kind of just pick up the aggression when needed. And yeah, hopefully we can have some fun. Hopefully we have a good night, and just want to hang out with the guys and kind of just put on a show for you guys that are watching on the stream.
Talk about the differences. I know the last, most of what I've seen you doing lately, of course, is in that Gen 7 car on Friday nights. Talk about the differences between that Gen 7 car and what you're feeling so far in warm-up here. How's it handling different compared to this new Arca car we've got?
Yeah, so it's a little bit different, obviously, for other reasons, but with Tier 1, they have these custom setups that they do week in and week out, and appreciate Devin for doing that and helping Brett and all the admin team present us with this. And yeah, it just drives, tonight it just drives a little bit looser. It's kind of loose entry, gets tight middle, and then you're kind of chasing the back end a little bit on the corner exit. But we were able to do some laps for a long run. I think we got something for those guys. Tire fall off, I think, is going to be key. And so the guys that I think manage their stuff and manage that the right front. I like to drive the car off the right front, and so if we can manage that just a little bit, we did a 20-lap run, and I was real happy with where the percentages were on the front, on both fronts actually, and so I think if you just manage, it's 97. It was 112 at one point track temp, and so definitely you'll see some comers and goers, and you'll see guys probably push middle, push tight, and then it'll just carry all the way through the corner push, and I think the treacherous corners will be 2 and 4. I mean, 4 just grabs you out of nowhere, and 2 it could get you from once or twice. But yeah, I think 4 coming onto pit road as well. It's kind of sketch coming onto pit road. So yeah, those are the 3 things I'm looking forward is seeing who kind of manages their stuff and who doesn't loop it coming to pit road.
I was wondering, that was going to be my next question. I saw you having some fun on pit road entry there. You think you got that mastered for the main event here? You got to approach it a little conservatively?
Yeah, I think we figured it out. It doesn't take much to, at least for us, it doesn't take much to figure this stuff out. But yeah, I think we kind of mastered that down. Me and Greg were kind of talking to each other, and so yeah, I think we got some for these guys.
All right, sounds good, Ricky. Well, I'll let you get back to the Titletown Racing chat here. Have fun, don't wreck. We'll talk to you at halfway.
Yes, sir. Sounds good. Thanks, Caleb. Have fun on the booth tonight, buddy.
Your in-race reporter for this evening's event, Ricky Gonzalez, always puts on a good show and always competitive, too. So look forward to seeing him towards the front of this event tonight. As we fire up the engines, pace car getting ready to leave pit road here. And let's do a rundown here of our grid for tonight's race, if we can, with my man Brett the Wizard behind the curtain. And I can't see it, but Brett says y'all can, so we're just going to start from the top, and hopefully he can follow along. I got Eddie Baker starting first, outside pole, Ricky Gonzalez. 51 car in third there, TJ Fast Lane Elaine. That 46 car, mentioned him in the warm-up. Look for him to be competitive tonight. Justin Evans starting outside, second row. Third row, Gary Smith starting in the 5th position there. Christopher Lunsford starting his outside. We got Matt Nose Tape Erickson and Matt Metler. Of course, your broadcast last week and your broadcaster again next week. Splitting time with him in the booth, having a whole lot of fun watching him get to race that Taco Bell car this season. He'll be starting there in your 4th row. 5th row going to be the 27 car Thomas Adams and the 08 of David Mayo. Zach Woods, Bill Sleep, Ken Ron, Greg Wood Jr., and Chris Bindle round out your 15-car field for this evening. As the pace car takes that hard left onto pit road, the field is in the hands of Eddie Baker as he leads them into the Geico restart zone. And we are green at Charlotte. Good start there from Eddie Baker. And you see the 51 car, TJ Lane, just going to follow him right through. Try not to get too squirrely on the exit. Ricky Gonzalez and Justin Evans grazing that outside wall with that right rear quarter on exit. Oh, and Evans loose. 46 car on the wall. Good save there. You see that a lot with these stock cars on iRacing. Cold tires. And that's really probably the first time he's approached that corner on cold tires at that speed all weekend long. Did a decent job of saving it. A little bit into the outside wall, but no worse for wear, it looks like. Side-by-side action here. Gary Smith looking to make the pass on Ricky Gonzalez. Ricky looks like he is kind of playing it conservative, like he mentioned early there in his interview. As we jump to the race for the lead, and the 51 car going to make a move to the outside. TJ Lane seeing how that outside holds up. Can he hold that run? Eddie Baker staying down low, doesn't side draft much, not putting up much of a protest. That's an early race give and take move there from Eddie Baker and TJ Lane. And the Shark Week 51 car is letting her eat up front. TJ really trying that outside line here. Charlotte, usually a race where you can get a lot of grooves generated, a lot of options here. Not a very wide track, but does give you a surprising amount of options for as narrow as it feels in the car there. That's where I feel like that turn 4 exit is really going to suffer on that high side there. Turn 4, if you haven't run it here at Charlotte on iRacing and presumably in real life, a really abrupt transition from the banking onto the front stretch. Kind of feels like you go up onto the front stretch a little bit, really unlike any track we go to. And it has been known to catch some guys out and start some chaos there on the exit of turn 4, as our front two are still side by side here. I think that just really illustrates kind of what we're hopefully going to see all night is options here on the track. See the 51's going to get a run out of turn 2. Eddie Baker, tuck right in beside him. As we go now to the contest for 4th place. Sort of a 3-car gaggle back here. Justin Evans, easy for me to say, has recovered from his bout with the wall there. Taking it to Ricky Gonzalez as we see Eddie Baker dive back down to the inside, but we'll see TJ get another run on the back stretch here. Eddie not going to side draft him too much. Now we'll see if Eddie pulls ahead here. Got a little tight. He sent it down in that turn. Oh, but the 51's in the wall and exit right there. That's what you're going to have to watch out for all race long. Doesn't look like he got much damage on the right rear. Whoa, as the 97 gives Eddie Baker a shove, and TJ Lane is worse for the wear. Eddie's still trying to save it. Overcorrects into the wall. Cars dodging left and right. Nice save. Greg Woods didn't get into Eddie there. We're going to go back and look at that one. It looks like Gary Smith just sort of underestimated how much that 84 car was going to check up, gave him a shot into the turn. Eddie jumps down onto the banking. Oh, and that's netcode right there. That's our old friend netcode. You can't blame Gary for the second half. Maybe the first half of that wreck, but can't blame anybody for the second half of that one, really. So you see the 51 car in the wall there. He's in the wall. He's got it saved. What turned the 84 is just the old netcode monster getting him there. That's got to be the worst netcode I've seen really since this last update. You know, every time iRacing updates, we all kind of wonder, what's the netcode going to look like? How's it going to be? And you saw it right there. TJ Lane, just an innocent bystander, up and into the wall, going to have some significant damage to the right side of that car. Very sensitive area of that car. Good news for all these guys. Of course, bad news is no fast repairs in this league. Good news is, though, plenty of time. Looks like that damage is probably mostly cosmetic. They should have plenty of time to do any repairs they need to and still be back to be competitive by the end of this race. It's all about surviving to the end. And incidents like that can certainly be a stumbling block early on in this race, but we have got a long ways to go here from Charlotte in the THDesigns Arca series. Good to know from the wizard behind the curtain, only lap 10 in this race. Of course, that leaves us with north of 170 laps in this one. Racers, it's time to level up. We are proud to introduce Tier 1 Setup Shop, a fresh new name in the iRacing world that's about more than just fast setups, although there is plenty of those. Our mission is simple: to help you perform at your best on track and feel supported off track. At Tier 1, we're not just here to drop a setup and disappear. We believe in feedback, collaboration, and community. Whether you're a seasoned pro or just dipping into open sets, your input helps us improve every build. Launching with competitive setups for Cup, trucks, late models, modifieds, legends, and more. And if you've got questions or need adjustments or just want to talk racing, you know, everybody's feels a little bit different for these setups. We're here. Real support, real people, not just transactions. Tier 1 Setup Shop is live and geared up for iRacing Season 3. Visit tier1setupshop.com and hop into the Discord to join the team, give feedback, or just hang out with fellow racers. As we watch the pace car here dive down pit road. And we are green. The field in the hands of Justin Evans, and he got a fantastic start with Greg Wood Jr. in behind him. Ricky Gonzalez coming up third. And Christopher Lunsford got to be just scratching his head after that one as he goes from the front row to fourth. And we see Greg Wood Jr. putting the pressure on Justin Evans for the lead. Knew it probably wouldn't be long before we saw that 67 car, I should say, trying to get up in the wind as the 15 car tags the wall on the outside there. That is really, really easy to do coming out that dog leg on the front stretch here. This place just lends it to you. You want to get as high as you can, as far as you can outside to try to get a nice arc for the corner, as you see Ricky Gonzalez doing right there. Sometimes you just try to get a little bit too much. That safer barrier gives a little. In reality, not much here in iRacing. Christopher Lloyd back up into third. To the other Christopher Pendle. up here in 6th. Right behind Zach Woods as we jump back to Justin Evans and Greg Wood Jr. in the battle for the lead. Oh, Justin just right against that outside wall, getting all he can get out of turn 4 there. And holding on to that lead. You got to wonder how much these guys are saving tires, how much they're going for it here with that halfway caution. As we now have a little bit of a battle here for the 3rd spot. Chris Lunsford really got a good run on Greg Wood Jr. there. He's going to dive to the inside. Greg's going to have the run off, skating across the wall, makes it happen, and holds on to 2nd place. But it makes you wonder how patient Greg is going to be in trying to defend that 2nd spot, or if he is now going to try to push and maybe take that lead from Justin Evans, who does an excellent job entering high there and packing that dirty air onto Greg's left front. That's going to burn up that right front tire just a little bit more. See Greg jump to the inside here. Seems like that outside line might be the preferred line here early on in the race, as you see Ricky Gonzalez make a dive to the inside of the 37 here. Lunsford does a good job getting the run on the outside again, though. Ricky not quite clear. Oh, and the 15's into him. Ricky Gonzalez into the wall. 15 car spins. Pendle is on the apron on the back stretch. Gonzalez, clearly big problems with the right front there. As you see going down the back stretch here. Yeah, just not enough room. Ricky looked like he was staying to the inside there, but I gotta wonder if that air just kind of pushed the 15 car. It's amazing. You think you've got this car going straight, and you get in that side draft, and it just wants to draw those 2 cars together like a magnet. Got to think the 15 car there probably. I mean, obviously nothing intentional from Christopher there. It had to think that he had a little bit more room there. Ricky, I'm sure, thought that he was giving him plenty of room, and cars just wound up together. Going to take this opportunity for a little commercial break. We'll go side by side so you won't miss any of the action here at Tier 1 Studio.
At Tier 1 Setup Shop, we're not just setup builders. We're racers, league admins, and part of the same sim community you are. We build setups for the full NASCAR ladder, Cup, Xfinity, Trucks, Arca, and the grassroots warriors of short track racing, late models, legends, SK, and tour mods, all tested and refined in real race conditions. We listen, we adjust, we improve, because your input makes our setups better.
Are you looking for a league that has racing 3 nights a week or special event races? Tier 1 Racing League is here for you. Most races are broadcasted by our very own Tier 1 studio. From dirt track to super speedways, Tier 1 has side-by-side racing with real drivers and real rivalries. If you wish to join us, go to our website, tier1racingleague.com, where you can find our Discord link and much more information. Don't forget to subscribe to our Tier 1 Studio YouTube and Twitch channels so you don't miss the action.
Are you ready to take your Twitch and Discord experience to the next level? Introducing EasyDayBot, your ultimate bot for seamless interaction. Whether you're live on Twitch or chatting on Discord, EasyDayBot's dynamic responses open up a whole new world of possibilities. Engage with your community like never before through unique prompts, custom reactions, and endless fun. It's the bot that understands you. Make every day an Easy Day download now at easydaybot.com.
Dude, it's here. All right.
Welcome back to the THDesigns Arca series from Charlotte, week 3 of this young Arca season. Join us at lap 21. We've had an eventful race so far, already a couple of cautions. As Greg Wood paces the field, lights out on the pace car. And your part-time broadcaster, part-time racer, Matt Mettler, up there outside row 1. As the field looks for the green flag, pace car in, Mettler hanging back. Greg Wood Jr. in the restart zone, mashes the loud pedal, and he is going to get a great jump here. The Woods brothers, both of them, looks like really going to have a good run into turn 1 here. Of course, Zach Woods, the king of restarts, on the inside, trying to fight for that second position. Greg Woods with 3-car advantage, it looks like, going into turn 3 here. These drivers all still trying to field this race out. We've had a couple of cautions, a few different cars into the wall. Already a few cars are having to fix damage. Ricky Gonzalez and David Mayo still in the pits. Significant damage for both of those cars already in this young race. As you see, the 46 taking a peek outside. Matt Mettler holds on to that second position. Is it too early to say the Taco Bell car has the runs? Maybe so. But holding on well in second there. As we jump to the battle for 5th, 6th, and 7th. Christopher Lunsford has that 97 car up towards the front of the field. Or sorry, the 37 car up towards the front of the field. Quite a bit already in the start of this race. But looks like he's just trying to bide his time. Maybe save some tires in that 7 car. We've got quite a battle going on here for second. Justin Evans got a little bit of damage early on in this one. Looks like that car is running fine now, though, as he's in that outside looking to maybe get a little push from the 97. Gary's giving him just enough room. Mettler on your inside there. Looked at taking it 3 wide. Gary decided better of it, and he's going to dive down to the inside of the 46 car here. Justin Evans going to look to hold out on that outside, though. Kind of tough in the dirty air, the 31 car there, but I think that outside has really proven to be the preferred line, at least in 1 and 2 early on in this race. As you see, Mettler high, wide, and handsome there, trying to get a little clean air behind Greg. Gonna tap the wall, bounce off, keep on going, and we've got a 4-car, make it 5-car contest for third. We've had multiple cars scraping the wall outside of turn 4, and again, only 27 laps into this run, and most of those have been caution. Halfway caution isn't going to come until probably lap 58 in this one, if my math is right. 46 car back into the outside wall. He has been trying to ride that Kyle Larson line all race long. Hasn't bitten him too hard just yet, but Gotta wonder how much abuse the outside of that car is going to take. As you see Wood in the outside line, Metler in the outside line. '97 car. We've seen Gary diving hard into turn 1 all race long. He gets all he can get on entry there. But right now, just waiting for Chris and Matt to iron things out. Try to pick them off one at a time here. As Christopher Lunsford lines up that 67 car. Greg Wood Jr. going to stay all the way to the outside, and he is in the wall. 37 car going to go to his inside and make it look easy as Christopher Lunsford takes the lead. Napa know how to take the lead at lap 30 of this event. We still have a race going on for second place here. Now Greg has lost second to Matt. Raises that wall a little bit on the outside again. Gotta wonder if his tires are doing things he's not quite expecting, or if he's just trying to test out the waters early here. Like I said, plenty of time in this one to repair the damage if you need to, but you'd rather not have to in this one. You see Gary Smith there, looking to go to Greg's inside. Greg in the wall again. Oh, and he tags somebody on the inside there. Looks like that was Gary Smith. Dodges it, everybody keeps it straight, and we're going to stay green. As we go to a replay here, you're going to see Greg Wood Jr. just looks like he's getting tied on exit there. Slaps that wall, and you're really just along for the ride at that point. That car shoots to the inside, and somebody bring Gary Smith as brown pants. And I wonder if maybe Brett, if we get a chance to look in the replay here, or look live at the damage to that 97 car, see if he's got anything on the right rear. It looks like he does have a little bit from that contact. That's going to make it hard to really drive this thing up close to the wall where you want to get here until he does manage to get that damage fixed. Looks insignificant, but take it from a guy who's wrecked a few of these things. It is really pivotal in getting the side force of this car dialed in. As you see that 37 car, Christopher Lunsford, keeping that Napa car out in the wind. Thomas Adams looking really racy on that 27 car early in this event. Of course, we're getting to that point in the race where you kind of see the guys who've done a good job of saving their tires start moving towards the front. Guys that maybe started this race in the lead and were looking like serious competitors, still may be, but probably dealing with tires wearing out early in this one. Of course, these Tier 1 setups really do a good job of having balanced cars. Really gives you a good balanced field generally. With these ARCA cars, so it's really up to the driver how hard you want to push, whether you want to lean on the right rear more like I tend to do, whether you want to lean on the right front more like our in-race reporter Ricky Gonzalez was talking about early on in this one. Gives you a lot of options, but it also lets you lean on them a little bit too much if you're not careful. Let's take a look through the field, see how everybody's running here at lap 37. Of course, your leader, Christopher Lunsford, that 37 car, Liberty, South Carolina. In second place, you know him, you love him, you'll hear him here next week, Matt Metler. in that Taco Bell car, running in the second position, Gary Smith. Got that Nilo Thread car in third. Fourth place, Zach Woods for his Glory number 6 Ford. His teammate right behind him here, Thomas Adams, in that 27 car. In the 6th place, Justin Evans, grazing that wall a little bit. 7th place, Bill Sleet, just biding his time back here. TJ Lane, that 51 car, saw him leading earlier in this race. Still got a little bit of nose damage from that contact. Christopher Pendle, that 15 Celsius car, Aberdeen, Ohio. Ken Ron, 33. Eddie Baker, still waiting to get some of that damage fixed, running 11th right now. Greg Wood Jr., the pride of Hagerstown, Maryland. Matt Erickson loves when we talk about his blue nose tape. It's worked out so well for him in the past. Running in 13th there. Ricky Gonzalez 14th in the pits. David Mayo 15th. As we start to see some green flag pit stops coming here at lap 41 from Charlotte. See a few cars lap down there. Ken Ron, Eddie Baker, Thomas Adams, Greg Wood Jr., Matt Erickson. All coming to get, you would imagine, 4 fresh ones. Charlotte known for really burning rubber at this place. As Christopher Lunsford just continues to stretch out that lead. It's 2.72 seconds right now over Gary Smith. The question becomes, when does Gary pit? When does Matt pit? When does Zach pit? When does the rest of this field pit? Of course, 2 completely opposite strategies. You can pit early, get tires now, run the risk of going a lap down if the caution should come out, but you'll have clean track, you would imagine, more than likely, and you can really push that car as hard as you want to on those 4 fresh tires and make up all kinds of time. But you give it back on the long run. You see Christopher Lunsford here leading this race, really controls when he pits, kind of controls the strategy of everybody else. He can afford to let these guys pit a little bit early and make some time for a couple of laps on him because of that 2-second gap he's built. And growing almost to 3 seconds now. Just see him stay out this time around. Again, expecting to see probably have to come to pits here. Halfway caution is going to be, I believe, lap 57, 58, somewhere in there. I don't think they can stretch it on fuel from here to there, but I'm not down in the car, so I can't wait to find out. Christopher Lunsford, that pace that he's running. Oh, Matt Mittler! Hang on, Matt. Getting every ounce of speed as he could coming onto the pits there. That's coming in hot. Looks like he's clean so far. Haven't seen anything about a black flag on the 31 car for pit entry. You see that Interstate Batteries look-alike paint job there. Eddie Baker in the 84 car. Don't believe I've called him the 18 car yet tonight, but the night is young. As Christopher Lunsford continues to pace this field, we see almost half the field is already pitted there. Top 7 cars, it looks like at this point, still on the lead lap. As you see Zach Woods getting onto the pits there. A bit more conservative than Mettler did. I believe that's a 55-mile-an-hour speed limit there on pit road. You can push it to about 56 here in iRacing, and much more than that, and it's gonna black flag you. And I've seen many a driver run a race early on because of a pit road speeding penalty. But now we're kind of getting into the territory here. Lap 49, if you are Christopher Pendle, you do kind of have to start thinking about strategy. He's sort of made his bed at this point as far as getting the speed out of the tires. Still really 3.5 second lead, I think, over Gary Smith at this point. As you see Bill Sleep coming onto pit road. Clean entry there to pit road for Bill. But you kind of start wondering, do you try to take 2 tires here? Do you splash and go? 2 tires going to massively affect the handling of this car, but if you're dealing with a tight race car, save time and take 2 tires might not be such a bad strategy. If you're dealing with a loose car, take those left sides. Ken Ron in that 33 car, of course, he got a little damage from that earlier incident. He dives on the pit road, and then there were 4. Christopher Lunsford, Gary Smith, Justin Evans, TJ Lane, pacing the field here. Christopher Pendle rounded out the top 5, and you start to wonder, when are we going to see these guys take to the pits? Christopher Lunsford staying out again this time. As he crosses the line, and we're on lap 53. Really with a 3.8 second gap. He could do a whole lot of fuel saving. Oh, and he's coming this time. Lunsford, Gary Smith, both pitting. Wow. Aggressive pit entry there from Gary. Really did a good job of slowing down early and then using that lead car to kind of gauge where he's at. As you see Justin Evans stay out, looks like he'll get credit for leading that lap. I don't believe that's his first lap to lead of the race. I think he was leading one earlier. So now when does he pit? Gonna stay out this time around. Do we see Justin try to make it to stage? Of course, we know he did pit earlier, I believe, for that, had a little bit of damage. I think he came in and topped off early. Lap 19, I'm being told by the Wizard, that 46 car came down to pit road, so he might be able to make it at this rate. Nope, here he comes. And the 46 car surrenders the lead to the 15 there, Christopher Pendle. Gonna get credit for leading that lap. Now, does he try to stretch it, or is he gonna have to pit? Gotta think he's gonna be wanting to get to that inside if he does want to pit. It's gonna be real hard to pit this time from that position. And he indeed does stay out. we come to lap 57, RC Devin Lockridge has closed the pit lane entrances. So Vendel, his bet is made at this point. He's got to make it to stage if he's going to hold on to this lead. And the stakes here are important because not only do you get the lead here, yes, you're going to have to come down pit road again, but more than likely most of this field is going to follow you, and you're going to save a set of tires for later on in this race in the event that we should have a late race caution and subsequent restart. As you see, Pendle getting a little bit of a draft from that Taco Bell car. Probably more than happy to stay behind Mettler here, and Mettler more than happy to stay on the lead lap so he doesn't have to take the free pass. As we complete lap 58 and expect to see the staged caution as soon as the car in 10th place crosses the finish line, and car in 10th is a lap down, so we're going to get the caution before that point. And Christopher Pendle going to drive that 15 car to a stage win. And sounds like we hear him coasting. As the question becomes, does he have enough fuel to make it back down to pit road? He is under power there. As the pace car picks up the field. Now, strategy part 2, who all pits here? You're going to see the 51 follow the 15 in. A lot of thought going on back there. Looks like Gary Smith decided to stay out, and basically the rest of the field is coming on down. Again, halfway caution here. There is no first stage. You know, it's not a 3-stage race here like a lot of these are. This is really where the real race starts. So Gary Smith taking a not insignificant gamble here by staying out. He will, again, save a set of tires for later on in the race, should he need them. But you got to think he's going to be a bit of a sitting duck, I should say. Not combined sitting duck with lucky dog. Not a lucky dog, sitting duck here on this restart. And it's going to be fresh tires right on his doorstep. He is the only car that stayed out here. See that 37 car, Christopher Lunsford. Didn't spend very long on pit road. Makes you wonder if he just topped off. Probably not a bad strategy from where he's sitting. Hey, if you're a streamer, league owner, or broadcaster in the iRacing world and want to earn a little money while giving your community a real benefit, you can join the Tier 1 Setup Shop sponsorship program today. Get you a custom promo code that gives your viewers or drivers 10% off every setup they buy, excluding subscriptions. And for every setup sold using your code, you earn $1. That's real money in your pocket just for promoting something your audience already needs. So whether you're racing, commentating, or building a league, this is a no-brainer way to support your content and grow with us. Visit tier1setupshop.com or message us here on the Tier 1 Discord to get started today. Lights still on the pace car. Looks like race control trying to get everybody lined up here for the restart and in their correct positions. Now a good time probably to do a little rundown through the field as we get the second half of this race started. Of course, on the front row there, Gary Smith and Christopher Lunsford, 97 and 37. Second row, the winner of Stage 1, Christopher Pindle. And the 46 car, been riding high, wide, and handsome all night, Justin Evans. Greg Wood Jr. starting third row with Zach Woods. Fourth row, Matt Erickson, Matt Metler. Thomas Adams looks like he'll be starting ninth in this one. Bill Sleet beside him. And Eddie Baker back there in 11th. Looks like he's still in the pits trying to get a little bit of damage patched up on that 84 car. TJ Lane looks like still in the pits too. As the field comes down the back stretch, and it looks like Lane and Baker will catch up to the rest of the field before this one goes green. As the pace car dives onto pit road, flagman has the green flag, and Gary Smith leads him to the stripe, and a great restart in that 97 car. We were talking about tires. Got to wonder if the 37 maybe spun him on that restart. He is dropping like a rock. Going to be 5th place, maybe 6th place before this thing is all said and done. Everybody keeps it clean and tidy through turn 1 and 2 there. But it's Gary Smith to the lead. 15 car. Oh! Gets a little touch of that 97 and saves it. What a save. Not only can he win stages, he can dirt track it at Charlotte on the asphalt oval. You're going to see he looks like he's going to dive to the inside of Gary Smith here. And I just don't think Gary knew he was there. And 15 car, of course, Greg Wood Jr. trying to stay out of him there, but nowhere to go at that point. Apron helps him out a little bit, but a heck of a save. To keep that thing, well, sideways, but got it straightened out before it was all said and done. We really kind of saw this at the beginning of the race, too. Fresh tires. Everybody wants to try to get as many positions as they can on these restarts. But sometimes those fresh tires kind of give you a false sense of security. Find yourself sideways in a hurry. Especially whenever you try to make late moves going through the turns here at Charlotte. Again, a track that gives you a lot of options, but not a whole lot of room to perform them in. And we're going to see Justin Evans get a big run down the backstretch here. Where does he go? Looks like he jumps to the high side, get a little bit of clean air. Going to try to get a run off of turn 4 here. As you hear these cars whizzing past. Gotta love that. If that doesn't scream nostalgia, hearing cars whiz past the wall-mounted camera, I don't know what does. Great effort, again, by Gary Smith of keeping it straight. 46, I think, had to check up for him a little bit there. Greg Wood Jr. going to test that inside out. 3 and 4, really the place to use the inside groove here. Helps when the 46 car tags to the outside a little bit. That's nothing new though. He's been doing that with that car all evening long. Hasn't seemed to have any adverse effects. This side of the track over here in 1 and 2 is really where you're going to see that 46 car get a big run off the corner, but not if he can't keep it out of the wall. And Greg would kind of dive to his inside here, try to clear him. Does he stay low? He does. He's not going to slide up on him until the exit here. And there's another car sliding through the turf. One of the Napa cars there might have been Lunsford in that 37. Leaving tracks on this black asphalt at Charlotte Motor Speedway as we have a pass for the lead. And it is Greg Wood Jr. back to the point at Charlotte here. Not sure if the 97 car got loose on exit or got into the wall or what happened there, but he looks like he's going to lose second now too to Justin Evans in the 46 car. Put 46 P2. Exciting race back here for a couple cars that have slid around early in the second half of this event. The Chris's, Pendle, and Lunsford. Of course, 15 car. Pendle going to take 7th right now. Lunsford probably just trying to let those tires cool down a little bit from that slide he had out of turn 4. As we would go back to the lead and Greg Wood Jr. Question now becomes, has Greg learned anything from that first stage? Greg, usually a guy that's pretty good at saving tire. Pretty experienced in that regard with these stock cars, but seemed to struggle with it early on in this race. Really looked like he was losing the back of that car in the first stage. As you see, Justin Evans jump to his outside. Greg dives it in. Will he slide up in turn 2? He will. 46 car going to get a run down the backstretch here. Is it enough to peek inside? Not quite. Evans. Well, now he's looking. Now he's got clean air. Greg's going to give him that inside on exit here. 46 car is going to be to his quarter. Taking the short way through that front stretch and dives down to the inside here. That's that line Greg wanted to take last lap around, but he seems to be more comfortable throughout most of this race on that high side. Is he trying to stay to the bottom to save tire maybe a little bit? Maybe that's what Justin Evans is onto here. Maybe that's why he tried to jump to his inside on this lap. But you see, not to his benefit on exit of 4 there. As he puts the left tires on that turf. As it is turf on the Charlotte Motor Speedway infield here, something that's unique to this track. Kind of nice, you can get your left sides down on that turf. I don't know if it really cools them off that much, but definitely doesn't upset the car as much as it would if it were grass. As we see a slide job there from the 97 move up in front of the 46 car here. Still a little bit of damage on the rear of that 97 car. You got to wonder if that's going to come into play in this race as he stays high to get clean air and put the dirty air on the nose of Justin Evans' 46 car. As they get a run, and let's not sleep on that 6 car in 4th place there. The king of restarts, Zach Woods, has a tendency, he has beaten me more than once by just kind of biding his time and lurking in the shadows. Don't let the preacher man fool you. He can be a shark coming down to the end of these races. 46 car gives a little bit of aero push to the 97. You see him dive into the turn there, trying to just peek the left front out from behind that 67 car. Zach Woods trying to make a move now on the 46. And there's Chris Pendle back out on the outside, looking to move his way back up towards the front. Got his taste of that stage 1 win, wants a little more here. as he dives to the inside, going to try to get 2 cars in 1 lap. Not quite going to make it happen, but set up well for the next lap here. And it is a dogfight up here at the front of this race. Everybody trying to get position. 46 car, you there? You see, trying to get to Gary's inside and side draft. Couldn't quite hang there. Of course, these ARCA cars now correctly patterned in iRacing after the Gym 6 cars that trickled their way down to these ARCA teams. Oh, tags the wall. 97 there a little bit. I think it might have helped him turn a little bit there. Gary Smith dives to the inside of Greg. And they're going to be side by side on down the back stretch. Greg Wood taking a little bit of a lead into turn 3 as he jumps to the inside. And the 46 car now, Justin Evans peeking outside. 15, Christopher Pendle going to try to take advantage of that move. Has all the makings of a momentum race back and forth. Remember, these cars in the Cup Series coming to this as the All-Star race for the first time, as NASCAR was testing that high drag package. This was exactly the kind of racing they were hoping to generate with it. And you see it here as these Tier 1 setups maximize how much you can trim these cars out, how much you can get them sideways. As the 97 does a little bit there, they're going to split them. Woods to the inside, Pendle to the outside. They stay side by side, racing for 3rd and 4th place. And Pendle's going to try to take another spot. He jumps to the outside of the 46 there, Justin Evans. And now Pendle in the catbird seat if he can get the run on the outside here. And he does. 46 staying well to his inside, not trying to side draft. Of course, probably that net code incident from earlier still fresh in everybody's mind if they had a front row seat for it. And you see that 7 car, Ricky Gonzalez. He's only 20 or so laps down. He's showing pace. Going to try to get one of them back the hard way. The Wizard says he's 10 laps down. I like 20 better. We're going to say Ricky's 20 laps down. Now he does tag the wall a little bit there. That 15 car is all over the bumper of the 6. Pendle trying to get that clean air again. And you know, Ricky Gonzalez, of course, in the same TTR chat with the Wood brothers here, going, Greg, come on, just give me some clean air. Let me have 1 lap back. I still got to make 9 up. It'll be fine. Just give me 1. If I know Greg, he's got no interest in doing that from the lead here. Well, Speedy Gonzalez going to have to earn it the hard way in this one. As you see the last lap, each of these cars pitted. And Gary Smith there, we mentioned at the halfway break, started on old tires, really has done a good job keeping up there in 4th. Got to give kudos to him. 7 laps may not sound like a lot, but if you've run these cars here at this track, you know that can be a big deal in these races. Of course, Gary was probably saving some while he was saving tire here. Just you see a block from teammate to teammate. Greg doesn't want to give Ricky that spot back. That's going to mean dirty air and possibly a lead change as Zach dives to the inside here, trying to stay in Ricky Gonzalez's wake and see if he can take the lead. They say side by side on the back stretch. Greg's going to get a little bit of a draft here. Chris Pendle bringing that car to pit road for what you have to think would be his final stop. Of course, he was riding in dirty air here, probably trying to short pit, get him a little bit of clean air on the nose of that car. It's going to make that thing turn better. He's going to try to make hay while the sun's shining and worry about these guys and their speed later. Burn that bridge when you get there. As you see, an expert side draft from Zach Woods. Not quite enough to keep Greg there, but he's going to catch him to the inside here through turn 4. As they come to the stripe, move that 6 car to the lead. It's the Woods and Evans show up front here. Justin Evans just biding his time, saying, somebody lead me to the promised land. As you see more cars starting to take their pit stops here. 97 Gary Smith, not entirely unexpected on those older tires. He's going to try to short pit this and make some speed. Of course, these 3 up here, really nothing to be lost from staying out a little bit longer here and trying to get that speed on the back end. They're in clean enough air that they can still race back and forth and mix it up. Really impressed with the handling of these cars, that they can run side by side like this late in the run. As we see your broadcaster for next week's race, Metler giving up 5th position to come down for his pit stop. There is the 37 Christopher Lunsford making a tidy pit road entry. There's their single file, 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. And then a 3-second gap on back to Matt Erickson and Thomas Adams in 4th and 5th. Bill Sleep coming in for his service in that 65 car. Kinron, that 33. As these 3 continue to mix it up. Almost like a super speedway race. Which lane do you block, Greg? He's going to stay high through the turn here and try to cut down on the inside. Those tires are hot, though, and they're worn out. And he leaves a window open for Zach, who rides the turf. I think he got a little bit better turn through the dog leg there by putting those left side tires on the turf. And now he's going to look to take the lead. Is he clear on exit? Not quite. But he clears them on the back stretch. Your new leader once again, that 6 car, Zach Woods, to the point, as I believe you're going to see Greg Wood Jr. come to pit here. Yep, nothing to be lost here. Lost the lead. Now as good a time as any. Eddie Baker in 6th place looks like is where he's being scored right now. Maybe 7th as he comes to get his service. And now the question becomes for 1st and 2nd here. How long do you stay out? Woods and Evans, how much time are you going to give up to these guys who have pitted? Matt Erickson also still out. As we see, that's going to be Matt Erickson, that 28 car, coming down to pit road. So now it is just these 2 lead cars. Zach Woods, Justin Evans, staying out on this pit strategy as you see them get their doors blown off by Ken Ron in a damaged car, no less. Really gives you an indication of just how much speed they're losing on the track to these cars with fresh tires as you see these 3 pit. And that is going to be your 2nd place car, Justin Evans, coming down pit road. Looks like a clean stop there for Matt Erickson. And then there was one. Zach Woods, leader here. And he's coming this time. Tidy entry for Zach. Probably not as aggressive as he could have been, but this is the money stop. Mistakes here will kill your race. And they will surrender the lead. Looks like to Gary Smith when it all cycles out here. Of course, Zach Wood still being scored on the lead as he is on the lead lap there. But I would imagine Gary is probably going to catch him out of the pits here. We'll see where they shuffle out. Yeah, and there you see the difference. Zach just now coming out of the pits. And he is going to be a distant third behind Gary Smith and Chris Pendle here. Of course, these are the first two guys that pitted. And at this point, looking like a small gap to third place who's going to shuffle out to be Justin Evans. Really cycled out perfectly for him, but those three cars that were battling for the lead now, can they stay in line long enough to hunt down the leaders? Or are they going to get racing amongst themselves and lose precious time that tire advantage has? And there's your answer. Greg Wood Jr. dives down to the inside. Justin Evans on the outside. Greg ain't waiting for nobody. Justin maintains the lead here. They both go high. Going to diamond it a little bit through turn 2 here. And they are still making time. Just about a second or so behind Pendle there in the 15 car in second. But that lead is only going to shrink. And another 2 seconds up there to Gary Smith. Smith did an excellent job jumping the pit cycle. Of course, he was the first car, you might recall, to come down. Get those tires early. Really now it's just a matter of how long does that rubber last? How long does that right rear quarter hold up as he tries to get to the outside here of Eddie Baker. And Eddie Baker, of course, trying to stay on the lead lap in the event that a caution would come out. Eddie looks like he's gotten quite a bit of that damage repaired from his earlier wreck, if not all of it. He certainly has no interest in giving up the lead lap if he can avoid it. That 97 car is fast on his heels there as we go to the battle for second. Justin Evans has caught and passed Chris Pendle. Greg Wood Jr. going to look to do the same here, and they do. And there's the gap. Ever shrinking below below 2 seconds now. About 1.7 to the leader, Gary Smith, in dirty air. 12 laps to go. And the tires fading. You got to think it's only a matter of time as Justin Evans tags the wall back there. Again, been doing that all night. Hasn't seemed to have any adverse effects. As we come to, looks like 11 laps to go. And the 97 jumps to the outside of the 84. Still not going to get it done. Eddie Baker holding steady, holding on to the lead lap, holding on to any hope that he might be able to come back in this race. And you see the 97 is going to push him wide. They touch, coming out of turn 4. This could be for the race. Gary Smith through the turf, slides up, slams the door, and takes the clean air away, but the lead has disintegrated. as he tags the wall, and that's going to send him the inside, and the 46 Justin Evans jumps to the outside. Greg Wood Jr. going to try to fall on through. Give your lead to the 46 car. Justin Evans is on point with 9 to go at Charlotte. Now the question becomes, oh, they're tight in, turn 1, they're wrecking. The race for second has ended the race, you would think, for 2 cars. As we take a look back here at how tight quarters got, racing for second here into turn 1. You can see Greg moving to the outside here. I just don't think. Yeah, man, I don't know that Gary Smith even knew he was there. He was outside. He was clearly there to us watching, but I got to wonder if Gary Smith even knew there was a car to his outside there, especially with the tire advantage. Greg was just moving so much faster. Of course, gets into Ricky Gonzalez. He's just a passenger at that point, and that's going to be terminal damage for that 67 car. I wonder if we can ride on board with the 97 car here and see if we can tell if he had any idea that there would be a car to his outside. I just don't think he knew. He took that approach as if nobody was out there. And split-second decision that Gary probably thought nothing of at the time, and ends the race for himself probably and Greg Wood Jr. as we see Eddie Baker here in that 84 car that fought so hard to maintain the lead, wasn't able to do so, but will line up as the lucky dog. He'll get the free pass here and line up. Looks like he'll be about 10th on the field, somewhere around there, for this restart. Speedy Gonzalez. Ricky there in that 7 car, looking like he's going to get his lap back. And as you look at the ticker on the left-hand side, you can see the last time these cars pitted, and Zach, Matt, and Christopher all stayed out to try to take that clean air. Of course, we know Zach Woods stopped later than anybody. That is still quite a few laps on those tires, but he does have the buffer there of the 31 and the 37 car. But lining up second row outside is going to be Justin Evans. And you got to think he's going to be making an aggressive move to get to the outside as soon as he possibly can and try to make it around your broadcaster for next week, the Taco Bell car there, Matt Metler. Hey, you can stream smarter, chat better, and grow your community with EasyDayBot. This innovative Twitch and Discord bot takes interaction to the next level, keeping your audience engaged and connected. Don't just stream, build a community with EasyDayBot. Don't just listen to us talk about it when you can try it out right now. I know we use it here in the Tier 1 Racing League Discord. Sure does come in handy. Pace car lights are out. And you gotta wonder just how loud the heart is thumping inside of the chest of the king of restarts here, Zach Woods, as he leads the field to green. How late does he go in the restart zone? We're about to find out. What happens here in turn 1? We're about to find out. As we come to 5 laps to go, Zach Woods, I told you he was the king of restarts, mashes the gas, and he is gone. Down into turn 1. As you see the 46, as predicted, jump up to the stop side. There's Chris Pendle looking to make some hay. He's digging for 4th. Mettler diving to the inside here. The 46 goes to the outside. Will Mettler slide up and cut him off? He does! 46 dives to the inside. 15 following in his wake. 4 laps to go. As they take the inside, you see Zach Woods do a good job of stealing that clean air there. Oh wow, 15 car got the 46 loose. You saw just getting to the air and lifting the back end of that car up with the air. You can still do that with these 6th generation cars, these Arca cars now after this recent iRacing update. But the 46 car is moving on that high side as Zach Woods moves up to block him. Zach knows the top is his best friend here in turn 1. It's going to be good on the exit of 2, but just not enough pace on those old tires. Give Christopher Pendle the lead as we have about 2.5 laps to go here at Charlotte. 46 car Justin Evans right on his heels, trying to prevent a sweep. Pendle going to take the outside here. He'll have the run off. Of course, we've seen all night that outside is really where Justin Evans wants to go. He wants to get that run on exit. Pendle not going to let him have it without a fight. He stays up high. How clean does he exit turn 4 here? Clean and straight as we come to the white flag. Chris Pendle, Justin Evans, Matt Erickson, Zach Woods, Matt Mettler, your top 5, but the race is for the win. Pendle leads them on to the backstretch. You got to know if you're Justin Evans, he's going to take the high side here. Where does Justin go? He stays down low, but he's not going to have a run. Christopher Pendle sweeps the day and wins the race in that 15 car. The pride of Aberdeen, Ohio. Christopher Pendle is your winner in this race, and we talked about his strategy, saving a set of tires for the end just in case of a late race caution, and the strategy paid off right there. Justin Evans comes to a hard-fought 2nd place. Matt Erickson looks like he's going to round out the top 3. And you're not going to miss any of this burnout. We're going to take it side by side here on Tier 1 Studio. Come back with a winner interview from Charlotte.
At Tier 1 Setup Shop, we're not just setup builders. We're racers, league admins, and part of the same sim community you are. We build setups for the full NASCAR ladder, Cup, Xfinity, Trucks, Arca, and the grassroots warriors of short track racing. Late models, legends, SK, and tour mods, all tested and refined in real race conditions. We listen, we adjust, we improve, because your input makes our setups better.
Are you looking for a league that has racing 3 nights a week or special event races? Tier 1 Racing League is here for you. Most races are broadcasted by our very own Tier 1 studio. From dirt track to super speedways, Tier 1 has side-by-side racing with real drivers and real rivalries. If you wish to join us, go to our website, tier1racingleague.com, where you can find our Discord link and much more information. Don't forget to subscribe to our Tier 1 Studio YouTube and Twitch channels so you don't miss the action.
Are you ready to take your Twitch and Discord experience to the next level? Introducing EasyDaybot, your ultimate bot for seamless interaction. Whether you're live on Twitch or chatting on Discord, EasyDayBot's dynamic responses open up a whole new world of possibilities. Engage with your community like never before through unique prompts, custom reactions, and endless fun. It's the bot that understands you. Make every day an Easy Day download now at easydaybot.com.
New to Tier 1, first-time customers get 30% off your first purchase, excluding subscriptions. And if you're a streamer, league, or broadcaster, join our sponsorship program. Share your code, your community gets 10% off, and you earn $1 per setup sold with it. Tier 1 Setup Shop. Built with you, built for you. Every lap, every week.
Welcome back to Charlotte Motor Speedway, where we just saw Christopher Pendle put on an absolute clinic in how to sweep a race. And we'll go ahead and pull him up into the press box here. Winner of Stage 1 and the finish, swept the race tonight, Christopher Pendle. How about you in that 15 car?
Man, I was so pumped up and excited there. I'm glad that caution came out because that's what saved me there. I had that extra set of tires and man, that's so awesome. It's been a while since I've been in victory lane. I've been close to the pole, but I'm happy with it, man. I held on there his last 2 laps. That 46 gave me a heck of a run there, man. That was fun.
Yeah, we enjoyed the heck out of watching it. We talked about you saving tires with your strategy there in the first stage. This one.
I was actually, I realized we only had 2 sets beginning of the race, and I was kind of figuring out, where we had when we had to pit, and I was planning on, like, when they said the stage was 58, I'm like, I'm going to go pit and just put fuel in it and have that extra set. It was nice that I had that extra set too. It kind of worked in my favor there. I kind of pinched myself there. I got loose underneath a lot of ground there. But yeah, that first stint, I just tried to save tires and manage my stuff, and I just saved that first run, and it worked out. I seen a lot of guys were short and was pitting, and I was able to make it.
Well, you put on a heck of a show, almost spinning it, making a run there at the finish. You got anybody you want to thank on that car before we let you go?
Yeah, thanks to my buddy TJ his shoes, but he was there supporting me there those last few laps, and he made my car. That car looks pretty good doing burnouts right now, but I'm watching the replay here. But thanks obviously to letting me, the league to let me race. I've only been here 2 weeks now, and this is my second race, and I've enjoyed the racing so far. Thank you guys for broadcast next week.
Well, forgive me ahead of time for all the times I got tongue-tied tonight and probably called you the wrong name, but glad to have you here. Looking forward to having you next week.
I appreciate it, man. Thank you.
Your winner for tonight's event there, Christopher Pendle, in that 15 car. Now we're going to go to the second place car tonight. That race, that was, I know it's probably not where you wanted to wind up, but it sure was a heck of a show from up here in the booth.
Yeah, it definitely was a blast there. I knew seeing Greg up there for times in practice, it'd be at the end there. If I wouldn't got loose in 1 and 2, I think I would have been in victory lane.
Yeah, we were kind of talking throughout the race. You seemed to be the guy that was utilizing that high side. Really never seemed to got to you. Were you nervous about running that close up to the wall, or was that where you were comfortable for this one?
Oh yeah, I was definitely nervous about it, but I felt like if I could enter high and if I could get it to turn down, I'd be fine. I just working that throttle, knowing where you gas up, and I kind of got that figured out.
That car before we let you go?
All I gotta thank is Tier 1 for putting all the races on, and allowing me.
Well, we're thankful for you to putting on a good show. That's Justin Evans, your second place finisher tonight. And now we go to Tape Erickson. I talked about your tape all night because I know how much you love how well that works out for you. And you brought it home P3, so you're welcome. Kind of just lurking right there at the end, and then you weren't the Shark Week car, but you kind of were a shark there at the finish.
Yeah, no, we won, so we ended up staying out longer.
I'm glad I wasn't the only one.
else.
I appreciate that. You weren't the only one either, if it makes you feel any better.
Everybody had to pit before the end of that first stage, so I think I got 7th place out of the stage, so I got some stage points there. But yeah, I was just trying to save tires all night long, and because of that strategy, I had an extra set for that last clean enough to be up there at the end, so I can't complain about that.
Yeah, and you come home P3, as I say it correctly that time, thank goodness. Talking about points, pretty good points day, all things considered, and early on in the season like this.
No, I mean, this is my first time running these cars, so this is what, the third race now? Second race, third. I mean, that's huge momentum going forward and just builds more confidence for the next tracks coming up. And yeah, I feel like I'm be in a position to be there at the end.
Well, that sounds like a good outlook to me. You got anybody you want to thank on that 20?
Do this 2 or 3 nights a week or whatever I'm up to now, and yeah, Tier 1 Setup Shop sponsoring the car and the truck that I drive, and for everybody at Tier 1 and TTR Motorsports, yeah, appreciate everybody's help and assistance, and it's always nice.
Ricky Gonzalez giving you a donut in the replay here after the race. But
yeah,
look forward to seeing you get that blue tape on the track in Myrtle. Is Matt Erickson your third place finisher? Strays. Let's take a look at your rundown for this event. Of course, Chris Pendle, Justin Evans, and Matt Erickson bringing home the dart. Comes home P4. Eddie Baker bounced back from being a lap down and some early contact to finish 6th. Bill Sleep 7th. Gary Smith 8th. Christopher Lunsford bringing that 37 home car in 9th. Thomas Adams rounds up your top 10. Ken Ron in that 33 car in 11th. TJ Fast Lane Elaine in that 51 car in 12th. Greg Wood Jr. rounds out your top 15 in that 08 car. For myself, Caleb Collins in the booth, and the man behind the curtain, the Wizards. Come on back next week. We'll be at Myrtle Beach. Should be a heck of a fun show, and you can catch it all right here on Tier 1 Studios. Good night.